Nia Jax! On the announcement. Oh, Becky
Hey, what's going on YouTube land? It's your boy TJ, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Wrestling Nostalgia. I give my reviews on the WWE shows and PLE events, and today we are going to be reviewing Raw, March 18th, 2024. So let's go ahead and get right into it, right? We open up the show with Jey Uso. So he ends up coming out, and then he gets interrupted. Seth get crashed by his twin brother, Jimmy, of course. Jimmy comes out, and they get into it verbally. And Jey says that, you know, we had many of falling outs and getting back together, but this time feels different. He says, you know, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it real. I miss you, man. Come back to me. He said, I never left when you wanted to lead the bloodline. And I'm like, correction, no, you left the bloodline first, okay? Now, if you mean behind the scenes and we're cahoots with each other about like breaking up and, you know, leaving, technically you left first, but go off. He wound up saying, I never left. I was in support of you when you wanted to lead the bloodline. You became a big star. You were getting big matches. You was main event Jey Uso. And you even won the tag team championships without me, with Cody Rhodes of all people. So he said, and the biggest moments of your life happened because of me. So he said, no, the biggest match, the biggest moment is going to come at WrestleMania when I knock the yeet out of yo. I was like, what? And then he wound up taking a swing at Jimmy and winds up beating him for a minute. So then this is when Solo, of course, comes to help his older brother out. And then out comes Cody to help out Jey Uso. He winds up playing the ring. And that's that for that segment. I'm actually ready to see these two fight it out at WrestleMania. This is going to be the first time ever in WWE history two twin brothers. This is not the first time a brother versus brother match happened at WrestleMania, but this is the first time two twins happen to fight each other at WrestleMania. So this is going to be very interesting. I want to see the type of dynamic they're going to bring to the ring. They definitely have chemistry. They have tag team chemistry, so let's see what is going to happen between these two one-on-one at WrestleMania. In this next segment, it is a backstage segment with Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce, and Paul Heyman is basically pleading his case to Adam Pearce, saying that he has nothing to do with the bloodline, aka Jimmy and Solo coming out, beating down Jey Uso. This is all on their merit, not on Roman Reigns, and nor was it approved by Roman Reigns. But when they do business on purpose, it is going to be a big deal. Okay, Paul. This opener match was a tag team qualifying match for the number one contender spot at WrestleMania for the six-pack challenge ladder match for the undisputed tag team championships. It is DIY versus the Creed brothers. They had a really great back and forth match. The only thing I didn't really like that it ran on a little bit too long, but other than that, this felt like a pay-per-view tag team match for the championships, actually. But other than that, they had a really great back and forth. But towards the end of the match, the Creed brothers tried to do a double team move, which was the Brodus Bomb, and he ended up missing. So Tommaso Ciampa ended up rolling him up for a pinfall, but one of the Creed brothers turned him over so that way his brother can get the pinfall. But Johnny Wrestling came in and threw out the other Creed brother and kicked the other Creed brother, and they wound up getting the pinfall after he rolled him up. Tommaso Ciampa pins him, and they are going to be in the six-pack challenge tag team ladder match for the tag team championships. Woo! That was a mouthful. This was a really good match. The right people won. I honestly do feel like this was DIY's moment. They've been in the business over 10 years in the WWE wise. They deserve a WrestleMania moment and a WrestleMania match. The Creed brothers definitely are going to have their time to shine. They have promise and potential, but it just wasn't their turn to win. In this next segment, it is Andrade and the Judgment Day, and they're basically talking about possibly conducting business with each other and Andrade is on board for the Judgment Day, aka Rhea Ripley said that they're going to be keeping an eye on him, and they love the match that he had put on last week. So we're going to see where this Andrade and Judgment Day storyline is going to go. And speaking of the Judgment Day, JD got ragged on by the members of the Judgment Day for not running the gauntlet and facing Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. So Dominic Mysterio is going to face Ricochet, who defeated JD in the first place later on tonight. In this next match, it is Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. This match was really, really short. In the match, I guess Katana Chance sustained an injury or something like that. So the referee was to see if she was okay. But Indy was like trying to, go and finish the match, but the referee stopped her. So then as she's conversing with Candice tags her, and she goes right for the attack on her leg, and she wound up beating her leg up on the ring post. Then she puts a submission hold, the single leg Boston Crab. She taps out instantly, and they are the winners of the match. And you could tell that Indy Hartwell is still kind of confused or not really sure of where everything is going with their tag team. I don't know if this is going to be a slow burn for a heel turn for Indy Hartwell, and she finally just lets in the darkness and be one with it with Candice, or she's going to break away from Candice and allow her to spray her wings and be a face on her own, and maybe eventually down the line they have a rivalry. But we're going to see how everything turns out with these two. Side note, April 1st, it is going to be a documentary for Bray Wyatt on Peacock. I'm very excited to see that, and I'm excited actually to see Bo Dallas, which is the brother of Bray Wyatt, and I'm glad that he's going to be a part of this project, and the narrator is going to be Undertaker, so we're going to see how that turns out. I'm definitely going to tune in for that. They need to put Bray Wyatt into the Hall of Fame, like for real, because after all the hard work and dedication that he put in for the WWE for the past 10 years going on, I want to say like 10 years, he deserves to get his recognition for real. This next segment, it is a Cody promo. And basically, Cody comes out and lays it on The Rock and lays it on him thick. He says that The Rock calls himself the bad guy, aka the heel, and he named countless of heels. And of course, he name drops Ric Flair, woo, because they're in North Carolina. Cody continues and says that The Rock realistically in real time haven't been in a match in over 10 years. What is going to happen when the bell rings? Are we going to get the childhood hero Rock, that big Dwayne energy, or we're going to get little Syndrome? So I'm like, oh, wow, can you really say that? Cody, of course, goes on to say that he has to finish his story and all the other good stuff. Cut to the chase. Paul Heyman comes out, and he basically apologized for that whole thing with the security guards and the FBI's coming out and everything happening and breaking down the week prior. Cody tells Paul Heyman to hurry up and get to the chase before I wring your neck. So he says, look, when you come to Friday Night SmackDown, come alone, and so will Roman Reigns. If that doesn't sound like a setup, I don't know what does. But you go ahead. He handshakes, and I guess he's going to keep his word, and he's going to come to Friday Night SmackDown with Roman Reigns, and we're going to see how that turns out. In this next segment, it is Nia Jax, and she says that it's funny that Becky Lynch has never beaten me, and she never will. And tonight, after I break her face yet again, she is going on to WrestleMania, and she is going to finish business with Rhea Ripley and become the new World's Women's Champion. Damn, she looks so good, to be honest. Nia Jax is absolutely gorgeous, and whoever did her makeup, they did a really good job. In this next segment, backstage, it is Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso asks Cody, is he sure about going to SmackDown alone? And Cody says, yes, I'm going to keep my word. I expect that Roman's going to keep his word as well. Jey says that he knows his family better than anybody, and I'm not so sure about that, but Jey says, if you need me, I'm right here for you, Cody. In this next match, it is Ricochet versus Dominic Mysterio. This was actually a pretty good back and forth match. Really, really good, actually. Of course, with two high flyers, I didn't expect nothing less. Towards the end of the match, JD McDonough, of course, tries to interfere. And he gets kicked off the ring apron for his troubles. So then this is when Dominic Mysterio sets Ricochet up for the 619. He misses, of course, and Ricochet hits his recoil, 1, 2, 3. He ends up on top and he wins this match. The right person went over. Ricochet's my fave. Please let Ricochet be world champion by in the next 2 years. This man is way too talented to be wasted. He already won the Intercontinental Championship. He already won the United States. I believe he won on NXT the North American Championship. Just put all the championships on this man. Like, he is super duper, super duper, super duper, super duper. I done made my own word out. He is super duperly talented. And he deserves to be world champion, whether it be the WWE Undisputed somewhere down the line champion or the world champion. It doesn't matter to me. Just put the world championship on him at some point, and put the tag team championships on him somewhere down the line, so that way he could be a Grand Slam. Just put all the championships on him, man. Just give it to him. So right before Sami Zayn's contract signing, he runs into Chad Gable, and Chad Gable physically looks like he'd rather be anywhere else than talking to Sami Zayn, who beat him last week in the gauntlet match for the number one contendership for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. So Sami says, what did you have to say? Like, I know you had something to say. So Chad says, no, I don't have anything to say. Just leave it alone, Sami. So he winds up finally coming out and saying that he can't beat Gunther. So as they get into the ring, of course, Gunther comes out. This is the contract signing, mind you. And he is ragging on Sami for dressing like a regular, a commoner, a bum to a contract signing. And of course, you know, Gunther is dressed into the nines in the suit. Like, that man, one thing about that man, he's going to come dressed for success. He learned, he learned very well. So they have a little back and forth banter. And basically, just to cut to the chase, Gunther says it's just going to be another day at the office at WrestleMania for him. Sami's just another number, and he's going to beat him yet again at WrestleMania. And when he looks into Sami's eyes, he sees fear, and he knows that he can't beat him. So as he's walking off and about to walk out of the ring, Sami says, do you really see fear in my eyes? Because when you look in my eyes, just know I'm going to be the man to take your Intercontinental Championship away from you. And he throws the mic down, and he walks off. So as he's walking off, Sami bypasses the Awesome Truth, and R-Truth is asking what's wrong with him. The Miz says that no, he's focused, and that's how we need to be in our match tonight. So Indus Sher comes from out of nowhere, and he says, "Oh man, R-Truth says, I fear for whoever gotta face them tonight." He said, dude, we got to face them tonight. I was like, why is this man R-Truth is not actor or something by now? Like, this man in this role, this delusional, loopy thing, it's working for him. Because he really got me thinking that he jumped off the slow bus. Okay, like, I'm sorry. It gives. In this next match, it is Indus Sher versus the Awesome Truth. Had a really good match, actually. It kind of looked a little like Indus Sher was going to win this, but I mean, can I ask y'all a question? Did y'all really think that Awesome Truth was going to lose? This match was built for them. Like, you know what's going on. So, R-Truth and Miz end up hitting a skull-crushing flatliner finale move. And it was funny how R-Truth got the win, because he got behind one of the members of Indus Sher and he wound up like elbowing him. So then he winds up falling on top of the fallen member of Indus Sher, and 1, 2, 3, he won the match. It looked kind of dim a little bit for them, a little bit, because, you know, Indus Sher is kind of a little hefty group to be trying to fight, but nonetheless, they advance into the number one contender spot at WrestleMania for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship in the six-pack challenge ladder match. In this next segment, it is Drew McIntyre. He winds up coming out, and right from behind comes Seth Rollins, and he's taunting him, and he says, oh, Drew, I didn't see you there. I was too busy being a spotlight hog, like you like to call me. So this is when Drew says, because it's all funny until I take your world championship at WrestleMania. So go ahead and soak this up. I was like, oh. So make a long story short, they have a lot of banter back and forth. Just to get into the meat and potatoes, Drew McIntyre is sick of Seth Rollins and his pandering to the fans. And at WrestleMania, he doesn't care whether he has to wheel it to the ring or Drew has to carry him out. He's taking that world championship, and he's sick of his antics and him not staying true to his commitment to Raw and the world championship and building that world championship to be the workers' wrestling championship for the Raw brand. And at WrestleMania, he is finally going to get not what he wants, but what he has earned, and that's to win the world championship at WrestleMania. And this is Seth Rollins' counter. Seth Rollins said that he's basically tired of Drew McIntyre always complaining about not winning the world championship in front of a crowd. Yes, when the pandemic happened, we all shut down, but by the time when everything was back up, you were nowhere to be found in the main event scene, and you faded off into the back. And that's exactly what's going to happen at WrestleMania. When the lights come on, and when the lights shine on bright, that's the difference between me and you. I shine bright, and you're going to find out at WrestleMania, you're not as good as you think you are. I was like, wow. Okay, we're about to see. You talking that tough man talk, Seth. You better bring it. So WrestleMania, we're going to see who's going to be the world champion come the end of this matchup. So this next match is a tag team match, and it is another spot to fill for the six-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. It was Alpha Academy versus New Day. The New Day won, and they advanced into ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. And finally, we are at the main event. Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. This match actually was superb. Yes, this match definitely lived past my expectations. They tore the roof off the house. This definitely deserved to be the main event of Raw. I actually felt like it was a pay-per-view event, to be honest, the way they were wrestling. It was just so crazy. I remember it was one spot where Nia Jax wound up like slamming Becky Lynch into the barricade, the ring barricade. I was like, oh my goodness, I know her ears are going to be ringing for weeks. And then there was another spot where like Nia Jax put Becky Lynch through the table with a Samoan drop. I thought that was going to be it. I remember she slid her over and did the Annihilator where she goes to the second ropes and then bam, just pressed all her weight into her chest. Thought that was going to be over. She wound up rolling out the ring. And I'm like, I said, that's not very face of you, Becky Lynch. I got my eye on you. You're coming off very heelish. That was a very heelish tactic you did, but you know what? Hey, whatever to do to win. And then I remember it was another spot. Becky Lynch put her through the table with the manhandle slam. And then she still got up. I'm thinking that was it. No, this woman still got up, but you know, that's a big girl. You're going to have to, put a little bit more oomph in it. So then this is when Becky, the ladder that she had, after getting hit with kendo sticks and chairs and all that other stuff and being put through tables, she still has the energy to climb on top of the ladder. And then she comes crashing down with a leg drop right through the table onto Nia Jax. Becky ends up getting on her feet before the 10 count, and she is the winner of the match. To be honest, I didn't really care for the whole Rhea Ripley coming out and doing the whole face-off thing. It's kind of getting old and redundant. It's kind of wash, rinse, and repeat. They have done 101 ways to do a face-off. When are y'all going to get active? But other than that, this was a really stellar match. And this actually was a really great Raw, to be honest. It was pretty decent, to be honest. But let me know, comment, like, share, and subscribe. How did you feel about Raw last night? Help me grow my channel, and peace. I'm out. TJ out.